what we'll pick up is we'll give you an idea of the background of profitability analysis, and we'll go into internal orders. So profitability analysis is one of the main key areas which FICO consultants work in, because most companies tend to use this, especially since now it's become mandatory for most companies to present segment-wise reporting. So many companies are opting for profitability analysis. So what exactly is profitability analysis? So when actually it comes down to profitability analysis, we look at basically configuring it. We have one structures, we have master data, you have planning, you have flows of actual values, and then you have your various reports you define. So these are the five areas which are important: your structure, your master data, your planning, your flow of values, and your information system, which is your reports. So the structures, basically, when we're doing structures, you basically maintain characteristics. So one of the important things in profitability analysis is if you're using profitability analysis, you have to define an operating concern. Without an operating concern, you cannot implement profitability analysis. So as the structures are concerned, you have to maintain certain characteristics. What are characteristics and value fields? In an operating concern, two things are basically defined: characteristics and value fields. Characteristics are nothing but those aspects on which you want to break down the profit logically, such as customer, region, product hierarchy, salesperson, etc. Value fields are nothing but the values associated with these characteristics. Example: sales, raw material costs, labor costs, overheads, etc. Once you define the characteristics and value fields, these values are updated in a table. Now, looking at structures, fixed characteristics, a number of fundamental characteristics are automatically predefined in every operating concern. These include product number, company code, billing type, business area, sales order, and so on. Now, you maintain your characteristics, then you maintain your value fields. Value fields are values associated with the characteristics which you have defined as your earlier step in your structure. Once you have defined characteristics in the above manner, you need to determine what are the values you would like to analyze. Example, you would want to analyze your sales or your raw material cost, your labor cost, your overheads, etc. In costing-based profitability analysis, value fields are store the quantity base quantities and amounts for reporting. Just remember, a profitability analysis is nothing more than a report you're going to be drawing up. Value fields can either be highly summarized, representing a summary of cost element balances, or highly detailed, representing just one part of a single cost element. Unlike characteristics, there are no fixed value fields for a new operating concern. All value fields must exist in the field catalog before they can be used to define a new operating concern. Value fields in the field category can be accessed in any client. SAP has suggested value fields which might be used in a new operating concern. Value fields can also be defined independently, but they should begin with VV, or should be 4 to 5 characteristics in total. It is not necessary to create value fields for calculated items such as net sales, contribution margin, etc. These items are normally calculated from the base value stored in the value field during the report execution progress. This minimizes unnecessary data storage. An operating concern can contain up to 120 value fields. Now, the first step, you maintain your operating concern, pretty much the same as maintaining a controlling area or anything, any other organization structure. Now, when it comes to operating concern, you can have two approaches. You can have costing-based profit analysis. This groups costs and revenues according to value fields and costing based valuation report. Then you have account-based profit analysis. Group costs and revenues according to accounts and uses an accounting-based valuation approach. Accounting-based profitability is permanently reconciled with financial accounting. So the structure of an operating concern is valid in all clients. The system creates the following tables when you opt for costing-based COPA. The first one is the actual line item table. The next is the plan line item table. The third is the summary records for property segments. Fourth is profitability segment definition. It is important to note here that no customizing request is generated here. Can someone tell me why no customizing request is generated? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to property analysis, you are actually just creating a report. You have to transport the settings through a separate transaction called KE31. We will refer specifically wherever customizing requests are generated. This means you do not have to use program KE31 for some customizing objects. Now, currency types. Operating concern currency is costing-based. In costing-based property analysis, actual data will always be updated in the operating concern currency. The company code currency in addition to the operating concern currency. You have the option of storing all data in the currency of the relevant company code as well. This is required if your organization operates internationally and deals with exchange rates that change daily. It allows you to avoid differences due to different exchange rates and lets you reconcile your COPA data directly with FI. Profit center valuation, you can also store data in both these currencies valuated from the viewpoint of individual profit centers. So we were doing controlling, and there are many areas where we had to set a controlling area. So when we are working in profit analysis, we also have to set the operating concern. Now, define property segment characteristic segments and characteristics. It is advisable for performance reasons to keep to a minimum number of profitability segments and therefore summary records required in COPA. This can be controlled through the selection of segment level or non-segment level characteristics. It is possible to configure the system so that certain characteristics are not used in defining profitability segments. The impact of this is that the value of these non-segment level characteristics will appear in COPA line items, but will not be available for reporting with the COPA drill-down reporting tool. Now, as in everything, when you're creating a company code, when you're creating a controlling area, when you're creating a account group, you have the facility to copy an existing one and modifying it to your specific needs. Now, when it comes to cooperating, including customizing, this configuration is important when you want to copy customizing settings from an existing operating concern to a new operating concern. It is very useful when you are doing rollouts for the same group. This is required where the design implemented in separate controlling areas and separate operating concerns for each company. You can copy settings from an existing operating concern to make the changes required in the new one. Now, once you create your organization structure, then you come into your master data. So you define your characteristic hierarchy. You define hierarchical structures for characteristics in COPA and analyze these structures in the information system. You can, for example, structure your uh, hierarchy according to products or customers. Now, characteristics derivation. That is the next step. You have to define your characteristic derivation. Thereafter, you go into flow of actual values. Here you define the number range to be used for actual line items. A number range group and a number range is automatically generated when an operating concern is created. You maintain your value field groups. Here you define the value field group representing the possible combination of value fields in an operating concern. Value field groups are used to specify which value field should be made available to users entering or displaying a line item, in what order these value fields should be displayed, which specific value can be filled. If you do not define any value group, then all value fields in an operating concern are unlocked during for entry during line item entry. You have to assign value field groups to line item screens. You have to activate transfer of incoming sales invoices. You have to assign value fields when it comes to transfer billing documents. When it comes to billing documents, all revenue sales deductions are defined as a condition type in SD. In this step, you assign these condition types to the corresponding COPA value fields. To transfer condition types for sales revenue and sales deduction to COPA, you need to make sure that the condition types are linked to an account in FI. That is also defined as a cost element, category 11, revenue element, or 12, sales deduction in CO. These condition types must be assigned to a COPA value field. Condition types linked to FI accounts are defined as cost elements of another category and are not transferred to COPA, even when the condition type has been assigned to a COPA value field. Condition types such as BPRS, that's cost, that are defined as statistical in SD, are always transferred to COPA if they are assigned to a value field. All condition types that you want to transfer to COPA must be active in SD pricing. Conditions from SD are always transferred to COPA with a plus sign, with the exception of credit memos and returns. Now, resetting value fields, quantity fields. This configuration is needed in the case of credit notes, debit notes, where the value fields for cost of goods sold should not be credited or debited. You need to maintain the billing type and value field. So you need to maintain a structure for direct postings. Here you define the PA structure, which is used to post costs and revenues directly to profitability segments. You can specify how the cost elements are to be defined to the COPA value fields. Automatic account assignment. Automatic account posting created in material management can be passed on to profitability analysis. COPA by means of automatic assignments to profitability segments. In profitability analysis, the documents are updated to the profitability segment generated according to characteristic values found in the corresponding financial accounting document. Typical business transactions for which it makes sense to have property segments are automatically included. The transfer of price differences that are posted in purchasing due to different order prices or differing prices in invoice receipt, the transfer of expenses or revenue that arise due to revaluation of material stock, the transfer of inventory differences. Then another step, one more configuration, you define the PA transfer structure for variance settlement. Here you define the transfer structure for transferring product variances during the settlement of a production order. When variances are calculated in cost object controlling or production order, you transfer these variances differentiated by cost element and value categories through the value fields in COPA. You need to maintain characteristic groups. Then you assign characteristic groups to actual cycles. Here we define actual assessment cycles for allocating actual costs from cost center to profitability analysis. You can copy plan assessment cycles to create actual assessment cycles. Here we are copying planned assessment cycles to actual assessment cycles. And you need to activate. Okay, this is an overview of what profitability analysis is. So I'll just give you a little bit more depth in this. So looking at profitability management, COPA, you have profitability management, you have master data, planning, actual data flow, and information system. So profitability analysis will enable a group to analyze the profitability of market segments according to the following characteristics: either products, customer, sales districts like USA West, USA East, Saudi Arabia, Asia Pacific, region-wise, and you can define your own market segment. Actual posting represents the most important source of information in COPA. You can transfer billing documents used in a group from the sales and distribution SD application component to COPA in real time. You can also transfer costs from cost centers, orders, projects, as well as like demurrage costs, revenues from direct posting, GL accounts in FI, orders received in MM, and so on. In costing-based COPA, you can evaluate incoming billing documents to automatically determine and anticipate sales deduction, costs, or even estimated costs, such as estimated port charges. You can also reevaluate your data periodically to adjust the initial real-time valuation or add actual cost of goods manufactured. Now, this is the look at difference between COPA and your profit center accounting and property analysis. In profit center accounting, you can drop revenues, salaries, material costs, profits. When it comes to property analysis, you can do a little bit deeper dive and you get revenues, you get discounts, you get cost of sales good, you get a contribution margin, and you get advertising. You can have more details in this. Now, terms used in property analysis are accounting methods. So it's either period accounting or cost of sales accounting. You have values, which is gross sales, net sales, variances. You have ratios, that's economic profit, contribution margin. The two methods of determining profit is either period-based accounting, which is what you normally use in FI, or cost of sales method. When you're looking at period accounting, you look at your revenues, your sales deduction, your changes in stock, your capitalized internal services, your work in progress. When it comes to cost of sales method, you look at your revenues, your sales deduction, your cost of sales, including variances for the period. If you're using the cost of sales method, with this you come to your gross result. From this, you reduce your sales and distribution costs, your administrative costs, your research and development. On the other hand, if it is you're working in period accounting, you will take your total cost, would include your material costs, your personal costs, and your other costs. So the profitability analysis calculates profit according to cost of sales method of accounting. Profit center accounting, PCA, on the other hand, supports both period and cost of sales approach. Both these methods are used at the same time in your organization. In profitability analysis, you can analyze contribution margin. That means sales less cost of goods sold according to market segment. A market segment can comprise of products and customers, customer and region, customer and country, sales region and material group. Now, looking at master data, you have first the currency. Like you have company code currency, you have controlling area currency, you have profit center accounting currency, we set it up. Over here, you have currency of operating concern. So you have cost element accounting, you have profitability segment, and you have characteristics and value field. Just remember, everything that flows from FI into CO is moved in via the primary cost element. So this is a view of property segments. You can have sales district, you have customer, you can have by product. Property segment object within property analysis to which cost and revenues are assigned. A property segment corresponds to a market segment. You can calculate the profitability of a property segment by setting off its sales revenue against its cost. A property segment in an operating concern is defined by a combination of characteristic values. Characteristics can be concepts that already exist in the SAP system, like customer, product, sales organizations, and so forth. Now, when it comes to categories of characteristics, you can have fixed characteristics and you have predefined characteristics. Characteristics are valid in all clients. A characteristics are available for all. Once you define a characteristic, it is valid for across the client. It is available for all operating concerns. Now, when it comes to SAP, SAP has delivered certain characteristics. It has delivered both fixed characteristics and predefined characteristics. If the characteristics defined by SAP are not specific to a client need or a company's need, they can create characteristics created by the customer itself. So characteristics copied from SAP reference table, custom characteristics can also be done. In the same way, SAP has delivered certain value fields. It is predefined in SAP system, like sales quantity, revenue, stock values. Now, value fields created by customer. If the customer wants in a segment to capture freight, marketing fees, they can customize their value fields. Now, this is the look at the segments. Now, you have organization structure, you have your master data. Now, your objective of COPA is planning. So, in COPA planning and objectives, you have plan integration, plan versions, creation of sales plan using planning levels and planning packages, plan data transfer. So, this is a view of planning. You do your sales planning. On based on that, you do your production. Your production goes into your various cost centers. From that, you calculate the product costing. From that, with the help of that, you calculate cost of goods sold. So we've seen before, when every plan has to have a version. Version 0 is the main plan version. So the general definition, version 0, on this version you can plan and you can have actual cost. Fiscal year dependent parameters, it is integrated planning. Plan records are posted as line items from respective areas. In the settings of COPA, this is what it looks like. Currency, exchange rate. The currency type determines the currency or valuation view in which the amounts are to be displayed or planned. BO, operating concern currency. controls the exchange rate types like buying rate, selling rate. P is the standard translation for planning. So you can create a planning framework. So when you're looking at planning frameworks, you maintain planning level package. You copy a sales plan. You upload a COPA plan, offline planning. You can manual profits and profit planning. You can have valuation method planning, event planning method, period distribution planning method, ratio planning methods, planning forecast, valuation, revaluation of planning methods. So you can transfer the data from Excel to COPA. So how does that is the planning level. You can plan all this. The actual value flow, how does that happen in COPA? So you can have your values in COPA coming in from sales and distribution, which is basically a revenue, and the flow is from a billing document, or the flow from FIMM to direct posting, so your general ledger postings or your MM posting, and your flow from product costing. That means within control CO, the settlement of production variances in property analysis. So from your source transaction, you have your value field. Your value field can be your billing document. From your billing document, what will you pick up? The quantity, the revenue, the sales deduction, the cost of sales good. From direct posting and FI, for what will you pick up? Pick up things like freight costs, inventory revaluation. This is a look at the flow from sales and distribution. And this is a look from the flow from the FIMM area. And this is a flow from COPC. You have variance categories, cost element groups, PA assignment lines, and then you have your value fields. Now, like any other report, what you generate finally in property analysis is a report with a drill down menu.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features? Bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Okay, a short review on what you'll have done so far.
So I'm almost towards the end of controlling.
We had done profit center accounting.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you can have a look at it. It was basically, if you've done cost center accounting and you've done it follows the same pattern. Okay, so we have done cost center controlling and organization structure. We have looked at under controlling cost center accounting. We have looked at cost element accounting. We have looked at profit center accounting. We've got an overview of profitability analysis. We have done product costing, an overview of that. We just take a look at internal orders. So let's take an overview. Internal orders are used to monitor overhead costs incurred for a specific event, project, or activity. It can be used for restricted period when executing a job or for long-term monitoring of portion of overhead costs. Internal orders are company code dependent. Internal order groups can be created for cross-company code reporting. Overhead cost orders will be used to collect actual cost incurred. This allows cost to be monitored continuously. The overhead cost assigned to an overhead cost order are settled in full as costs to other cost collectors, like a cost center. This is generally on a periodic basis at the month end. Internal orders plan and monitor the cost for a specific job. So first thing is you have to activate order management in the controlling area. We have already done that when we set up our controlling area. But before you start, you need to check and see whether you have activated order management in the controlling area before you start the configuration of internal order. It is the same node where we maintain the controlling area. An internal order is created under an order type. So you have to define order types. An order type is used for storing various control parameters and various defaults while creating an internal order. The order type is client specific, which means that every order type can be used by all controlling areas within that client. A number range is assigned to an internal order. Internal order is a cost object that tracks and the cost of a specific event. The internal order has a short life compared to cost center. In SAP solution, we find two types of internal orders, a real internal order or statistical internal order. Through real internal orders, you can track the cost of a particular event, and at the end, you can settle the internal order cost to a respective cost center. On the other hand, a statistical internal order, you can only collect cost. You can't settle it to any other cost object. So same way you maintain your number ranges for internal orders, you define your layout, order layout. You define model orders. You create internal order groups. You can change it. Then you have the settlement of an internal order is usually used as an interim collector of costs, and it is an aid to planning, monitoring, and controlling process. When a job is completed, you settle the cost from one or more receivers, cost centers, fixed assets, property segment, and so on. So you have a settlement profile. This configuration won't take you more than an hour or so, because you've already done your profit center.
Okay. So after the profit center, what's the next document I should go over? Is it the FIMSD integration? Or is there
No. That we will do. I'll take you through that a little bit later. Because actually we have technically finished the hours, but we are doing a few more hours. You just make sure that you're under CO you have cost center, cost element, the document on cost center controlling, cost center, cost element, profit center.
So the cost center and cost element, they're two different documents, and they're aside from the profit center?
They're all in the same document. Cost element will be a part of your CO controlling document. So you finish your controlling document, you'll finish your cost center counting, you do your profit center counting, and then you set up your internal orders. That will take care of your CO area.
Okay, so it's cost center, cost element, and then profit center, and then that'll take care of the controlling side.
Yeah, and this internal orders, that takes care of your controlling side. And then review your financials. Your financials are the most important part if you're planning to break into SAP. So your GL, AR, AP, asset, banking.
Okay, and the internal order is 3 parts. I go through all 3 parts: the first one, second, and third one.
No, internal orders is just one. So it is just one document to it. To just pick up one of the documents. Just keep the documents handy. I'll review it at the end of the class.
Okay.
And we will select one for you to use.
Okay, yeah, that'd be very helpful. And then if you can select, because I see the cost center. I didn't know the cost center was a part of the profit center document. I wonder if the profit center document.
No. Profit center is a separate document.
Oh yeah. See,
it could be in the same document because it all comes under controlling. If you have a good controlling document, it will cover cost center, cost element, profit center, internal orders. We'll look at your documents and we will choose one which will help.
Okay, yeah, that'd be perfect.
So when you look at activate components, you will see you have activated order management and sales orders, all that has been activated. So it should have been activated because we had activated it before, right?
Yes.
And same, we would have activated it in the company code. So once you check this, then you go to next step is go to controlling area, internal orders, order master, and define order types. So when you're looking at order type, an internal order is created under order type. An order type is used for storing various control parameters and various defaults while creating an internal order. It is used for classifying various types of internal orders according to usage. For example, real orders for trade fair, for capital investment, specific orders like motor vehicle expenses. So where have we come across a scenario where we have done a configuration which defaults values when they are to be used? Can you name one, Twinkle?
Could you repeat that question, sir?
Sorry?
Could you repeat that question?
When we are looking at order types, internal orders are created under an order type. An order type is used for storing various control parameters and various defaults while creating an internal order. So where have we come across a similar configuration?
For example, like asset class?
Right, perfect. Asset class. Stanley, can you think of another one?
What was the question?
This configuration which we are doing now, defining order types, and we are saying the order type is used for storing various control parameters and various defaults that are used when you create an internal order. So we have, where have we done similar kind of customizing? When we do asset classes, is there any other area you can think of?
I guess the bank configurations, or is that considered part of finance?
No, anywhere where we have done something. How about your account groups?
Oh, the GL accounts?
Not the GL accounts, the account groups. When you create an account, something under account group, a GL under account group, or a customer under account group, certain values of that account group are defaulted in. Okay, so go to order master data, define orders, and go to new entry. Do you have your document open with you, Kringle?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So following the document, we'll pick up 01 and you can update it as the parameters in that screen. So take yours as T since your company code is T. So TT04, you can take it. So you can leave everything the same. This will be a specific order. So internal order, it will be say there are annual day expenses. You can use annual day expenses as the narration. TT04 annual day expenses. Then coming down, you will model order, collect orders without automatic good movements is already picked up. Resident time 12 and 1. Object class, there was, you have object class in yours?
So yeah, object class, I picked up overhead costs.
Was it there in your document?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now I hit save, right?
Yes.
Number range not processed.
Now we've seen this same screen before. This is your field status when we had done it, field status for your account groups. So it follows the same pattern. You can make something mandatory, or you can make it a required entry, or you can just hide the field you don't want to come. In this case, you can just make any changes you want, so you will get an idea of what it does, save it, and move on to the next. But you have to remember, in real time, whatever you do here has to be in sync with what is being done in material management, with sales and distribution, with product planning. So when you do changes over here, you have to keep in mind what your colleagues are doing in other areas. Okay, save this and go. And this takes care of the first part of your configuration. Now go to maintaining of your number ranges. Go to groups, click maintain. You'll have to use the top menu for this. You want to maintain it first also. So just follow the path. Can you share your document?
Yeah.
So you have seen this field before, exactly the same way. You go to maintain groups and you insert, and then you update. So that is how you will follow this through. So now go back to IMG screen and execute these commands.
Group maintain. Order.
So you go to the menu path on the top, click group, maintain. You click on maintain, then next click on insert, group insert,
Maintain.
and update the following. Maintain both the lines, maintain both.
So it's a little different for me when I go to, let's see.
Share your screen.
Okay, yeah. Where's my
See, when we copied, if you remember, when we did the CO and Profit Center, we copied, everything was copied in when we copied 001. Then we
Right.
came to this screen. Now, if you go, these are not assigned, assigned. If we did not copy the earlier number ranges in controlling, we would have to come to this screen, double click and assign it to each number range if we had not copied.
So can I
Okay,
just
now go to up right to the top.
Ranges.
So
Okay,
you're looking at now
ranges maintain. Let's try that. Okay.
you go to group, maintain, and click on maintain.
Okay.
Go right to the go back, Twinkle.
Go back. Okay.
Back. All right. Now go to right on top at the side of group. You should have.
This is maintain. Okay.
Okay, just give me a minute. Let me also open my screen over here. Scroll right down. We are looking for the group you created. We are looking for process orders.